The search for Osama bin Laden, the well-known terrorist who planned the 9/11 attacks, kept the world's attention for more than a decade. The Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, was very important in finding this mysterious person, which led to his death in May 2011. But how did the CIA find one of the most wanted terrorists in the world? He was hiding in the rough countryside of Pakistan. What secret activities and ways of gathering information were used to figure out where he was? This interesting story about espionage, new technology, and working together across borders has the answers to some of the most fascinating mysteries of our time. At the CIA headquarters in Virginia, where a special unit was entrusted with finding bin Laden, pretty much every lead had gone cold at this point. By the time the United States invasion of Afghanistan in 2001 came to an end, Al-Qaeda forces had been driven into the eastern portion of the nation. Local Afghan tribes, aided and supported by the Americans, fought their way through the terrain while heavy airstrikes were carried out. However, by the time the battle was accomplished, bin Laden had already escaped. After the battle stopped, only approximately 20 people were caught, and the CIA was left with nothing. However, the arrest of at least one of these individuals will eventually provide detectives with a lead that they can pursue. Before Mohammed al-Qahtani was apprehended, investigators did not have any prior knowledge of him. He stated that he went to Afghanistan to pursue his interest in falconry and denied having any affiliation with the terrorist organization Al-Qaeda. After taking his fingerprints, the investigators discovered a match in their database. They discovered that he had attempted to enter the United States just a few weeks prior to the events that took place on September 11th. The customs agent got suspicious of al-Qahtani after discovering that he was carrying $2,800 in cash and was flying on a one-way ticket. FBI officers spent a significant amount of time searching through mountains of air support surveillance film in the hopes of locating additional leads. They were successful in recognizing an automobile that Mohammed Atta had rented around the time of the attack. It is widely thought that Qahtani was supposed to be one of the hijackers of United Airlines Flight 93. Unfortunately, the plane crashed in Pennsylvania as the passengers were attempting to recover control of the aircraft. In light of this information, Qahtani was subjected to interrogation, and over the course of the following months and years, investigators gained a deeper understanding of the organization's inner workings. The Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, conducted a network analysis to determine who was in close contact with Al-Qaeda's leader, bin Laden. They also investigated bin Laden's private network, which included family members, but found no evidence of communication between bin Laden and his relatives. In the years that followed, fresh audio tapes surfaced, revealing that bin Laden was speaking with members of Al-Qaeda's leadership. This information became public knowledge, leading the CIA to search for the courier network, which consists of individuals who transfer information. In January 2004, Kurdish security forces took Hassan Gul into custody, carrying a letter written out in bin Laden's handwriting. Gul was handed over to the Americans, who interrogated him and obtained vital information, indicating that a critical figure in discovering bin Laden had already been on the agency's radar. The Americans were successful in their mission, as Hassan Gul asserted that Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti is bin Laden's personal courier and that he manages the courier service. Conflicting information on his role inside Al-Qaeda had been brought to the attention of investigators as the investigation's primary focus switches to Kuwait. In May 2005, Abu Faraj al-Libi was also taken into custody in Pakistan, and he adamantly denied that Kuwaitis had a more significant role in the plot. Investigators were questioning a guide named Hambali, who claimed that Kuwaiti did have a role, stating that he managed a safe house in Karachi around the same time that the Taliban fled Afghanistan, and that he was in contact with Kuwaiti. The many contradictory assertions he made concerning the role of Kuwaitis made him even more interesting. The procedures used to interrogate the captives were contentious, but they were successful in obtaining some very important information from the detainees. A significant number of the detainees were subjected to enhanced interrogation techniques, which entail subjecting a person to cruel and unusual punishments, including acts of torture, like waterboarding. A Senate Intelligence Committee investigation in 2014 concluded that these techniques were unsuccessful and did not contribute to the gathering of information regarding bin Laden. In June 2010, a Kuwaiti and his brother changed their cell phone connections, which allowed the National Security Agency, NSA, to determine the geographic location of calls made. A man in Pakistan who appeared to fit the profile of a Kuwaiti was identified by a Pakistani CIA operative who spoke a combination of Arabic and Pashto. The NSA believed that the man went to great lengths to conceal his movements and only inserted the battery into his mobile phone while he was in the region surrounding Peshawar. As it became increasingly likely that the individual in question was a Kuwaiti, efforts were made to track him down on the ground. In August 2010, a Pakistani CIA operative was successful in recognizing the man while he was in his car. An undercover agent followed him back to his house, where they found the enormous compound where Kuwaitis lived, suggesting that the suspect might already be there and that some Kuwaitis might even be residing in the same building as bin Laden. The mission to locate bin Laden was given to a group of special units instead of intelligence agents, who had little prior knowledge of the challenges they would face when invading the compound. 2 Black Hawk helicopters fitted with top-secret stealth equipment took off from Jalalabad airfield on May 1, 2011, around 11 o'clock at night. The United States government's decision to not inform Pakistan of the operation made the mission more difficult, as the Navy SEALs had to remain undetected throughout the mission. The tale of how this raid was carried out is fascinating, and a long-form documentary has been created to map out the operation and create detailed models of the mission's plan. However, YouTube would demonetize the film due to its graphic nature, making it an age restriction. Nebula, a creator-owned platform, allows users to access all the incredible content available on the platform, including videos about the construction of the Twin Towers and the story of Flight MH17, which was shot down over Ukraine. Nebula also offers access to larger, higher-budget projects than YouTube could ever do, as it was built by the creators and podcasters. The Gulf War involved a series of events that led to the discovery of bin Laden and the subsequent manhunt for him. The video on Nebula provides a unique perspective on the operation and the challenges faced by the US and Pakistan during this time. The CIA's hunt for Osama bin Laden was a complicated story of spying, secret operations, and working with people all over the world. Their work, which included tracking down banking networks and using cutting-edge technology, led to the exciting raid on his Abbottabad compound. But what other secrets are there about the way this high-stakes hunt was done? Share your thoughts in the comments, and send them to your friends as well. Don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to our channel so you never miss a new video.